Hello, everybody. It is me, Pacific. I want to keep this brief. It is Saturday morning here in Denver Metro, Colorado, and you know what? I told you I'd comment on people's comments and fan mail, viewer mail, etc. But a woman, Rainbow Eagle, writes regarding Western women are destroying themselves, telling me, go back to the Dark Ages, and then continued to say that women not wanting to be with you is not an argument against feminism. Is it just me, men, and truly enlightened women who believe in the truth? Is it just me? Or are there a lot of women in America that don't have a logical thought process, that don't listen to everything I say in the video? Not with me, yes. They pick out little bits and pieces and run with that football down the end of the field, and they think everybody's clapping for them, and the only people that are clapping is the feminist team on the other side, and the home team's going, you didn't score. You didn't score at all because you don't have the ball. The ball of truth is over here, and you're running with some Nerf ball, and we don't play Nerf ball in the NFL. Good analogy, right? I'm amazed at how women can tune into my video and their filter turns on and it shuts out all the truth that I've said, and it zeroes in on one thing and says, oh, he said Western women don't want to be with him. I don't believe I said that. I said that it is very hard to get a date because Western women are very stuck up, conceited, high maintenance, and picky Annie. And she says, no woman wants to be with me. That's funny. I have been called all this week by several women talking to me on the phone, wanting to talk to me. My friend at work saying, hey, you want to go walking Red Rocks? There are women that want to be with me. One gave me her phone number last week. I just didn't want to be with her. But the bottom line is, women don't generally have a problem with me. The only women that have a problem with me are the ones that have been infected with the American virus called feminism, liberalism, evolutionism, and all the other junk. And you know what? Feminism is one of the worst evils out there because even atheists and agnostics and pagans write me saying that feminism is just wrong. So, I find it interesting that I have unity with people who are not Christians on this issue. But the average American feminist woman does not think logically. She thinks with her feelings. Her mouth speaks accordingly, and all that comes out is a rash of crapola, profanity, anger, and anti-male sentiment. Words like misogynistic, homophobic, racist, not politically correct. All of those words invented by the feminist. Did you know that? Yes. Let me say something. Saying that women want to be treated right is not an argument for feminism either. We have heard for decades now all the atrocities that males have committed. Now the tide has turned and we are beginning to hear the backlash of us males saying, wait a minute, I had a mother who was not very cool. I had female teachers that were not very cool. I had wives that were not very cool, and they all embodied within themselves rebellion, feminism, and in-your-face, take on the male, stamp out the male, disrespect the male, and we men are supposed to lay down like daisies in the hot, scorching sun and go, oh! Are you serious? Are you freaking serious? No, I don't think so. Men are supposed to be men, and men need to stand up and speak out the truth. And I've noticed a growing chorus of anti-male bashing females that don't like to hear the truth. That's right, folks. I want to hear what I want to hear, and that's all there is to it. Feminists hold a standard that they do not hold to themselves in regard to American males. They want the American male to submit to them. Wait a minute. They say they're all about equality. No, they're not. They don't want a male to challenge them, criticize them, critique them, or point out any of their faults. But the American feminist will let you know in no uncertain terms all of yours, real or imagined. I see this on my channel all the time. Most feminists just leave crappy comments laced with profanity, Rainbow Eagle did not, but they just don't like a man standing up and decrying feminism and their wicked behavior. By the way, in reference to saying for me to go back to the Dark Ages, we're in the Dark Ages right now, sweet lips. You know why? Because feminism is taking us into the Dark Ages, promoting lesbianism, promoting anti-male sentiment. We're turning women into little gladiators that are walking around in sports bras, and pretty soon they're going to be carrying swords and shields and spikes all down their arms, and they're going to be ready to fight us in the Colosseum. Oh yes, we're headed to the Dark Ages. We're there. Women's mud wrestling, women boxing, we got it all, baby. Don't tell me that I need to go back to the Dark Ages. I'm trying to say we need to get out of the Dark Ages, but you feminists are taking us there. I want everybody to look at Hillary Clinton's face. Now she's waxing eloquent on sexism and bipartisanship, and I'm going, Hillary Clinton, could you do us a favor? Shut your mouth. You're contributing to global warming, you're contributing to air pollution, and most of what you have to say is not based on biblical truth. Look at Hillary Clinton's face. And I want all the men and women to objectively tell me that she is pretty and she radiates joy, peace, happiness, and when you look at her face, you just feel so warmed by it. I think I've made my point. You look at the standard feminist, they are taut, pensive, their face has lines in it. I'm telling you, their nostrils flare out. Oh, the Pacific has anger issues because I speak intensely. Yes, feminists are real good when the camera's on. We really need to address the issues of sexism. Get that woman off the camera behind the stage and say, you know what, have you addressed the issue of sexism against males that's a growing problem in the U.S.? Watch the anger come out of her right now. I'm going to tell you something. If that woman wins for president, I'm going to ask all of my fans to donate money to me so that I can defect. Because if she becomes president of the United States, somebody better just pull the chrome handle, because this whole bowl is just going to start swirling really fast. Feminism is destructive. I will gasp my last dying breath believing that in all of my heart. Feminism is not about equality at all. That is the biggest lie that has ever been perpetrated on the American public, next to evolution. Feminism is so destructive that even atheists are agreeing with me on it. I find that interesting. Women are making as much as men, and in some cases more. Women dominate the porno industry. Women that claim that men are pigs and men are sexist, women are selling their bodies to make a profit while men are struggling with porn. And today's feminist women thinks there's nothing wrong with that. And the early feminists were against pornography and said that it devalues and dehumanizes and objectifies a woman. Hello, feminists. You are taking us to the Dark Ages, not us males that are standing up and speaking the truth. I am so sick of your spin. You know what? Feminists don't get it. They don't think logically or rationally. They just don't. They hear a video like mine, oh, dark glasses, can't get a girlfriend, default. When are you guys going to listen to truth? Yeah, the feminist is a real pretty woman. The invention of sports bras, women running around scantily clad in public parks with their iPhones on, and anti-male sports bras looking very masculine-y. Yeah, this isn't the Dark Ages. Women don't want to look feminine anymore. Women don't want to be sweet anymore. I have had some information brought across my desk where a viewer of mine told me about her father. The father is controlling. The father is strict. The father gets angry and says horrible things. Things that I'm not going to repeat. And I thought, fathers that don't treat their daughters like ladies will push those daughters into becoming promiscuous, or possibly push them into lesbian behavior, possibly alcoholism, and I'm getting it. And I wrote this woman back and I said, realize your father is not healthy. The things he's saying to you, the stuff he's saying, the guilt blackmail. She was interested in a man, and the father had told her, if you get involved with this man, I will reject you. Whoa! I said, that's family dysfunction at its height. Saying, my health will continue to go down if you make this choice. That's good parenting, isn't it? No. I see the destructive effects that men have had on women. I'm not negating that, ladies. Feminists, by the way, are not ladies. I use that term very loosely. Females. But I find it interesting that feminists are waiting right there to swoop up girls like this. They would love it if she became lesbian and rebelled men. There would be no encouragement from the feminist camp to say, realize your father has issues. Don't let this change you. Realize he's got a problem. Keep your mind intact and make wise choices. Would a feminist encourage a girl to do that? No, they would be like, ooh, maybe we can get her to become lesbian. You think I'm kidding? Sheesh. I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people, both in writing, comments, and emailing, and Skype, and on the phone. We've got to start standing on truth, folks. Feminism has and is taking us to the dark ages. Women have become violent. Women are liking violence. Women can sit through violent movies with women carrying guns, scantily clad, shooting up people in corporate offices, and, you know, the in-control female. I don't watch those movies. I've seen trailers and previews, and I'm like, who gets into this crap? A hardened, jaded society that's racing to the dark ages. I think I've said enough for 12 and a half minutes. 12 minutes, 46 seconds. Rainbow Eagle, you don't get it. You're not thinking with logic. Feminism is simply emotionalism, and it's rage. It's an excuse for you to be rebellious, rebel, and stamp out any male anything. Well, guess what, honey? If you hate males so bad, you were brought into this world by somebody's semen. Hate to tell you that. And I'm sorry, but you're never, ever, ever going to win the war. You may win your little battles, but you'll never win the war, because the Lord, who is He, is going to crush all feminism. Isn't that encouraging? He's going to eradicate all that. And He's not going to come down and say, equality. He's going to say, I reign, I rule, I am the Lord, not you. What we saw, women demanded equality in the 30s. Women are going like this. And basically, if you start reading some deep, dark stuff on the internet, the feminists want men literally slain. Start doing your research, women. It is not about equality. It's about dominance, and I've said this before. It's about slamming, putting down, tearing down any of us males. And Hillary Clinton wants to infect the world with that pus. I realize that women are treated horribly in other countries, but that is not Hillary Clinton's right to do it. The men should stand up and say, treating women like objects is wrong. But I'm going to say something, and I'm going to say it again, from teenage girls to pop star divas and all of the women that are out there in American society. They are making themselves objects. Dressing sensually, being provocative, having the biatch attitude. They have turned themselves, not into a woman to be loved, cherished, and adored. They've turned themselves into an object for personal gratification to be thrown away like a Swanson aluminum TV dinner tray when finished. That was good. I'm sick of it. And this male speaking out. I've heard enough about women bashing, blasting me from the church house to the schoolhouse to the workplace to the roads and traffic when they cut you off and you honk. I remember watching a woman going like this one day with her middle fingers, just yelling and screaming. And I just shook my head and said, yeah, feminism's really brought you into enlightenment, hasn't it, sweet lips? You cut in front of me with no turn signal, slam the brakes. That's why I tap my horn. Logical? Of course not. American women have a big problem. It's called truth. American women have become so strong in feminism that they can laugh this off, they can mock this off, and run back to their little camp and go, ha, ha, he's a retard, he's an idiot, la, 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 la. But I know one thing. They will know one day that they're wrong, because somebody's going to tell them and they won't be able to stop up their ears, and it will be God. Sorry, God's not a female. God's not a she-male. God is He. And you know what? I am all for championing fairness for women. But in America, I'm done with it. Done, done, done. I am all for championing that women need to sit down, shut up, and get a grip. Did you hear me say that? I'm tired of them yelling and screaming and bashing, and some men need to stand up and say, we've heard enough. Silence. Now you need to hear us. Men need to lead. The problem is women aren't going to let them in this country because they got laws to protect their little feminist ways, and I'm tired of it. I have enough experience talking to other women overseas that I've gotten a clear picture of the ugliness of the American female. And I've already talked about this over and over and over. Feminism has not produced any substance, any quality, any depth, any heart, any sweetness, any warmth, passion, compassion, grace, or mercy in today's American women. I know, because one lady I talked to across the ocean is nothing like the stuff I see here. Then there are other women across the ocean. And there are even some American women that say this feminism is totally destructive. You feminists, congratulations. You've turned yourself into an object to be used, and all you're doing is making more and more men say, we don't want to be around you. American women are getting mad that many men are choosing overseas brides because they've had enough. A man from Syria was fascinated with white women's beauty. He said, after dating several dozen women and seeing their ways, I finally went back home to Syria and got me a respectable wife. Don't tell me that my views are taking us back to the Dark Ages. Feminism has brought us right to the threshold of it. What's next, women? You can be gladiators chopping our heads off and laughing as the blood is dripping from your sword? That's the picture I have of feminists. I'm a little concerned for my safety. While women are complaining about stalking and harassment, we're getting it every single day, and not one woman is standing up in the feminist camp saying, hey, we're not treating men very fairly, are we? Of course not. They're not interested in truth. They're interested in an agenda of dominance. This is Pacific, signing off. Bye-bye.